Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have an interesting video, this time working in two marine ECMs from the same customer. This is a 5.0 Bravo. It's obviously a boat. This is coming from Maryland. Christopher, this is your computers. I'm going to put the note that he sent me about his problems. This computer got here not too long ago, and I haven't, as you can see, one connected and the other one next to it. So let me just, it's going to be the view, a little hard with the microphone to not, to show you everything. What is that thing? Let me just see. Should be right there. I'm trying to get the light for the relay. I mean, not the relay, the IEC. So you can see it, yeah, probably right there when it comes on. But let's go over to his concerns. All right, this is a note from Christopher, or Christian, sorry. It says, my SmartCraft gauges are not communicating with the engines. They do not display any data. Just say no starboard engine found on the LCD screens. I have tried new cables, gauges, junction boxes, and checking all connections. And new gauges with version 7.0 software are not communicating with the engines either. I'm not sure if that is a problem because of the old gauges were version 3.01. The ECMs might need to be updated. Again, I have exhausted all options. Also, by onboard battery charger was not functioning. My boat neighbor had a similar issue at about the same time. Not ruling out a possibly lightning strike or power surge. The charger has been replaced, but no change in the gauges. I am checking the voltages on the cables coming from the ECM. It is reading 2.35 volts. Can't remember exactly on both the CAN high and the CAN low wires. Thank you for that information. That is actually really, really good. According to the SmartCraft, that means that there is no data transfer. Not sure if the starboard ECM or port ECM is the issue. I label them with S and a P. All right, so I have both computers here now connected, as you see. Let me move you here. I have the port connected. So let me get the meter, the picoscope, and the diacom. So I have the computer on. And yes, if we see in the picoscope capture, which is that blue line that you see right now, even though it shows on the maximum like 4.2, that's all, it's only a spikes. There is no communication. So realistically, it's only 2 point something volts, because if I put a line in here, it's like a 3 something. I'm not even sure why it's so dirty. I put a filter on it. Oh, I know why, because I put the filter too high, expecting a communication, right? But now you can see that with the hatches off and the filter, all we have in here is 3 volts. This should have communication with ignition on immediately. Why? Because the gauges are communicating all the time. So this is definitely reproducing your concern, Christian, right away. I want to make sure that we can run the computer. So I had the diacom connected, and I already read the history. It's no faults in history. So I'm going to bring down, at least this port computer has 681.52 hours. And the only RPM history is 0.17 minutes and pretty much idle, 750 from 0 to 749 RPMs. There is no seconds of fault history. And all the faults are here. If you see this data here, these pits are my control pits, the coolant and the air temperature. Those are my temperatures. The last hour, the same, and they're all exactly here. So the trim, this one is actually his. This is disregard that what I said, because you can see here, you see coolant temperature 32 degrees. Manifold temperature 96.8. And this was not too long, not too long ago. Let me see, 681.52, I think is the last one. 681.52, yeah. 681.43, we got a ECT temperature circuit high. It looks like they unplugged the coolant temperature sensor, because it was after a stall or something happened, because the rest is looking normal. We have throttle reading, 100% power. Manifold pressure is reading Battery voltage actually good after a stall, 12.6. Barometric pressure is reading. The air temperature is good. The coolant temperature is not. So either you have a bad coolant temperature or something happening there. But let's keep going up. I thought it was only faults of mine in here, but no. This P dot is definitely mine. And this seat temperature high, no, this is actually his too. It's the same thing as after a stall, same exact time. So it was something with the coolant temperature. Seat temperature, you know, so it's something on with the ground, maybe on those sensors. I'll have to see on the wire harness and the wire diagrams to see how they are connected between these two. Because we can see now the coolant temperature reading properly, and it was actually at the same exact time. Because look, 681.43, and then that fault that we just read, it was right after. So maybe they were doing some tests. Because this is where sometimes it's a little hard to get this data and examine without having the whole story, right? But yeah, so we can definitely see the computer is talking and it's on. I'm going to run it just to, oh, and I forgot to, let me get the, I need to inject the signal into my simulator because otherwise I cannot run it. So give me just 1 second, guys, because I forgot to do that before starting the video. It's pretty quick. Okay, everything went perfect in there. Can close this. And I need to erase, or I'm going to put a pit for you guys to see for the RPM. Yep, you can see now there. And let me move this up around 70, 80. It's not, I'm spinning it and the numbers are not changing. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with this, but I know it, and I'm being lazy because taking all this apart is a nightmare to fix that. I will do it, and when it fails, just a potentiometer. And 95 RPMs. I'm gonna go around 650. I can see both bank of injectors. Let me move you over to this view so you can see that too. We have the fuel pump on. We got the main power relay, both bank of injectors, and the ESC signal all as present. So the computer is running. I have 90% power. Let me see what fault came on in here. Yeah, you're reading that. Nothing that should be. Oh, the knock sensor. So yeah, that is fine because it's not connected. So this one is just the knock sensor fault is doing that, but everything else is looking okay. Raise that throttle a little bit more. And the IAC driver, you can see the light. Let me move you here. This is instead of the IAC. You can see the light now lighting up. And that will increase and change depends on acceleration and so. But all I'm trying to see is make sure the computer is running and no issues whatsoever besides that smart gauges section. It looks like everything is good, so no issues on this one. I'm going to save this as a running values. Sorry guys to take the time, but I always do this for every single customer. I save all the data, so if you got any questions on what it was done in your boat or so, you will have everything with Mike Salazar Diagnostics. I save this record forever. Bravo, Crown, Christian right here. Ford. And this computer is actually running good. So no issues on that. All right, so let's turn this computer off. You saw the fuel pump prime. Hopefully you can see it on the small screen. And now you see the activity in that oscilloscope didn't change at all. I'm going to turn this computer off. We're going to lose the communication. You see that in there, synchronization, and it's going to set off. And now you see also the sensor voltage went to 0 because it's obviously off. All right, so that is, we lost communication. Perfect. I'm going to swap the computer. To see if one computer or both have the same problem. All right. Let's power up. So I'm going to move you here. Let's just keep an eye on here because it's going to be the fuel pump. With that, we do have fuel pump. It did the prime. And this one is communicating. So this one, the smart gauges are, it looks like this one is fine. All right, let's connect and read the codes on this one. I'm going to erase the codes, just to erase whatever was here. We're going to read the RPM and fall history. But you can immediately see how different this one looks compared to the other computer. This one has 677 hours. Let me save this. Christian J. Maryland. Starboard. History. Before repairs. Or just history, because I don't think it, well, just before. Okay. Print. I'm going to set up another folder for him. Starboard 670, is that right? 677. All right, I say the data from this one, and looks like, yeah, somebody erased everything because both computers has absolutely nothing. Please don't erase the data before sending it to me because otherwise I cannot help you. If you have done, disconnecting and, stuff, yeah, erase it. I would recommend you to do this, and I always do the same way myself. Before I do any unplugging of any sensors or nothing, I download this, I save it, and then I can erase. Then if I need to send that to Mike Salazar or any other shop or technician that wants to help me, I have the record of what it was there before, so somebody can analyze it and help me to correct a problem, right? Because that's what we are here for. But if you erase everything, then it's not much to go by. So 677, this is definitely, you see, it's almost like a copy of the other one. Look, ECT temperature circuit high when it's reading manifold, and it has 100% power. I'm just going, we see we got the C temperature high, but in this case, at least the coolant temperature stay as 32, which is abnormal. That is definitely something. It could be an open on this on a wire on a ground. And then let me see. Yeah, there is not many faults to go by, right? So, yep, I cannot help you with anything of that. Let me go over to the oscilloscope. Because even though, you know what, let me rephrase that. Because I don't like that signal either. I'm going to change the time. Well, actually, you know what? I know what it is. Because I changed that filter, remember? So let me go up to here. And now let's get the filter to 1 megahertz. But yeah, it's still, this is no good. This is no good. It's something there, but nothing what it should look like. Right now, I have not even a terminating resistors in there, you know, because I don't have anything. This should be looking very different. Let me see if I have one signal of those. Or actually, you know what? Let me do the repairs on the port side, which we know is completely bad, and then we can compare to this one without opening it to see if both computer needs repair. But I honestly, with my experience, it is something in here, Christian. But this should not look like that. This should look like an activation and kind of like a curve, like a up and then a curve, because we don't have the terminator resistors. But it has to be from 1.5 to 2.5, or 2.5 to 3.5, and we have a little weird voltage in here as well. All right, so let me stop the video and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I did the repairs on the port computer and I have it connected but not powered on. So let me just show you that indeed. Well, it's a little hard to show that. Yeah, this is the computer right here open, and that's a cover from Christian. I gotta be careful because this is metal plate. But yeah, so this is the starboard computer that was plugged in, and we thought it was kind of okay, but you're going to see that it's definitely no good, neither computer. So let me power the computer on and look at the oscilloscope waveform. I didn't change anything that we had there before on the starboard. It was doing some activity, but it was definitely, like I said, no good. They're running on the computers. We have no issues with that, but it's still, you know, I'm going to reconnect the diacom so you can see that it is connected. And I'm going to go, well, we got 100%. I forgot to show you this. Let me go over to set engine location. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, that is port. Yeah, you can see that in there, right? So yeah, that is the port computer. So perfect. In the system information, we can see a calibration and all the values that the manufacturer put for most of the sensors and output, like the injectors and the IAC and so on. And you can see how the IAC should be 10.1 ohm. I always save that information as well. But yeah, so if we go over to the oscilloscope, it looks very, very different, right? So right now in 5 milliseconds per division. So I'm going to change that and we can zoom into that signal to see it more clearly. Remember what I was saying? And this is because I'm going to put a trigger so we can see the signal kind of like with more detail. And this is because I'm in the CAN low. Right now the voltage on that CAN low is around 2.5 on the upper part to the lowest around 1.2 or so. Again, with no terminator resistor, that is okay. I'm going to change that to the other CAN bus line. So you will see how now that will now go into the opposite side. These are completely mirror images. The CAN bus is CAN high, CAN low is an image of each other. Some
images of opposite side mirror from the web.
I don't know why. This is a very good thing to happen. I have not made any questions to my phone, and they're constantly listening to you. It's very worrisome. But yeah, so we can now see this signal going into around 2.5 or 2.4 to 3.8 or so. Again, with no terminator resistor. So what is this telling me? Both computers are wrong. So I'm going to repair the other computer, no matter what, they're both in here. And when I do a repair, I cannot do a partial repair. In these situations, for me to give you a warranty and not be liable later, and I don't really take in consideration, I will do a repair or no repair. And the reason I say that is because, and I have, 1 second, guys. All right, so what I was saying is, and the reason I say that is, it could not be only potentially, partial repairs. I do, diodes, capacitors, and what I consider a refurbished computer. If your computer is good and I cannot reproduce a concern, I would not recommend or do any repairs. especially if it's here because you're trying to correct the problem. But if I find a problem and I will going to repair your computer, I need to do a refurbish on the computer so I can give you my warranty and the computer is going to last. Because if I just partially charge you for a repair today or so, and then 6 months or so from now, something happened, it is going to be 100% that you're going to be, it's something you did, you need to fix my computer. And I'd rather fix the computer and it's done. And I don't have to think about it. If it fails, please send it over. You're 100% under my warranty. You see what I mean? This is how my business approaches everything. And you have seen me in multiple of my repairs. When something I cannot reproduce, like if you go and watch probably one of my latest videos in 2006 for Mustang, Rocky Lennon from Louisiana, he sent it over to try to find an intermittent problem he has, and I couldn't find it. And I run that computer for 7 hours. And all I charged was for testing, but I didn't recommend any repairs. Why? Because I don't want to marry myself to a problem that is there or not. I'm not sure. I couldn't reproduce it. And that's why I do that. Yes, if you send a computer just because, and you say, Mike, my computer is like, in this case, those are computers from 2003. So 22 years old. And you say, Mike, my boat is running good, no complaints, no concerns. I just want to refurbish with my computer. So, and instead to wait for something to fail, I want to fix it. So what did you replace when you do the repairs on these computers? Injector drivers, for a few point relay drivers, IAC drivers, EEPROM, diodes, capacitors, voltage regulator, and I put a conformal coating to protect the computer. And it's so more in there that I don't obviously disperse because it's a lot of ears and other companies trying to copy what I do. But yeah, it is a lot involved. And that's what I would do when I refurbish. And I put, CAN transceivers and communications and all that stuff brand new. But yeah, that is what you get when you send something for repair from me. All right, guys. So let me just do the repair on the other computer, which, yes, you're going to see. And I'm glad that I let me put the camera here, that I put a mark, because he marked it, but with like I don't know, like a blade. You can see the P mark in here. That is for port. And then the S for starboard, which is still completely sealed up. All right, so let me repair that one and then come back to see if we get the same result. Because actually, now that we have this, I'm going to just power this computer off. And I'm going to disconnect it and connect that one with you guys in the camera. Yep, you're seeing everything good. A little hard to do here. No, not so bad. All right, so you can see, let me put the port here so it stays in the picture. It's like it's so bright. Yeah, you can see the P from there, right? Right here. And let me plug this one. So right now the picoscope is connected. And we are in the same speed and everything that signal needs to be shown. You see, what are we looking at in there? Something else. Something completely different. Nothing else is, or nothing like what we saw before, right? So let me get that diagram out of the way. You see, it's something there, but not what it's supposed to. So let me, again, repair this one, and we will see the other computer as well fixed. I'll be right back, guys.